China has unveiled a 6 trillion shilling kitty for Africa's development as part of new measures to strengthen its ties with the continent. The announcement was made on the eve of President Kenyatta's meeting with President Xi Jinping in Beijing tomorrow. Sam Gituku reports.
At least 33 African countries have sent delegations to Beijing, China, to represent their interest in the relationship that has blossomed over the past decade. A decade that has been marked by increased Chinese investments into the continent, more Chinese-driven projects, and as a consequence, more Chinese debts. And Kenya is one of them. A Chinese government taking pride in the successful completion of a standard gauge railway that is now in its second year of operation. More projects in the infrastructural sector are visible, whether financed by the Chinese government or being built by Chinese firms, both public and private. But for President Kenyatta and his delegation, their focus is on growing Kenya's benefit in the relationship. In 2017, Kenya imported goods worth 390 billion shillings from China, the highest volume of imports ever from a single country by Kenya. In return, Kenya only sold China goods worth just over 10 billion shillings. This year, until May, Kenya had already bought goods worth 166 billion shillings from China, with no data on how much had been sold to the Asian giant. The Chinese imports more than 3 times the volume acquired from the US and the UK combined. And so Kenya is keen on changing the numbers and gain a slice of the 1.3 billion persons market that is China, the largest nation on earth by population.
The market in China is growing and it's changing in taste. Could we meet that taste for China? China has been doing a lot of electronics, but what can we do differently that China doesn't do that we can bring on this side?
Part of the strategy being to enhance the manufacturing sector such that products like tea, nuts and coffee are sold to China and other countries at a better price. President Kenyatta's team is said to be pushing for a preferential market deal such that duty charged on Kenyan exports is either scrapped or reduced. Presidents Kenyatta and Xi Jinping will lead their teams in bilateral talks on Tuesday. What Kenya has are aspirations, but for them to come true, they'll have to convince the Chinese government why there has to be specific changes to the policies and why they have to be treated differently from the rest of the world. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV, Beijing, China.